Hey, shalom, Akim, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and that's still teaching His truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying to you, Akim, and you Akwat that listen and believe. Today's lesson is going to be entitled, Being Spiritually Enriched by the Lord. All right, being spiritually enriched by the Lord. And what I have here is the definition, or the etymology, I rather say, of the word enrich. And when you think of when something is being enriched, you think of something that's hearty. You think that's something that's good, like an enrichment of nutrients, or you have a good. It's a pretty much a good feeling in a sense of being enriched. But what does the word enrich mean? Which in meaning within an enrichment, But I have, like I said, I have the etymology of the word here, and I'm gonna get a couple precepts to back up the mindset of the lesson, because we are being enriched from on high. Okay, we're being enriched with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and He's causing our mind's eye to be open to the truth, and we're being given the true riches. Okay, we're being given the true riches of what Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, has to offer to us. You see, and this is a gift that He's offering to us. At the end of the day, we didn't do anything to receive it. We're being given this, for a purpose, to complete and to fulfill a mission at the end of the day. All right, so this word enrich here, it says late 14th century, to make wealthy. Okay, you see that word means to make wealthy. All right, it says from Old French enrichir, to enrich, enlarge, from in meaning to make or put in, okay, to make or to put in, right, and then rich. You see that? So it literally means to make rich. You see, we have been made rich with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is far greater than any kind of so-called riches that you could receive in this world. Which the riches of this world, as the scripture says, that pretty much the riches of this world getteth them wings and they fly away, for lack of better words. You see, but this is far greater, than any kind of quote unquote riches that any man or woman could receive. Because we're given the things that can make us rich, truly rich, if you will. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's actually grab a quick precept on that. I think it's in Proverbs, the 5th chapter, or Proverbs, the 8th chapter. I know it's in Job 28 as well. But let's just get this one here. This is Proverbs 8 and 11. All right? This is Proverbs 8 and 11. All right? It says, for wisdom, what is wisdom? Wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Okay, it says, for wisdom is better than rubies. You see that? And when you think of rubies, you can think of the most precious jewel, like a red ruby, whereas you don't even see rubies. You may see gold and silver and diamonds that are being flaunted on this side, but when do you really see people wear true rubies? You don't see that. Okay, so it says wisdom is better than rubies. You see that? It says, in all things, and all the things that may be desired are not compared to it. You see that? You can't compare anything to the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. But this the thing is that He has enriched us. He has given us true riches from within. You see, even in these earthen vessels, we have been given true riches. You see, which is a beautiful thing. We have been enlarged, It says, figurative sense, supply with abundance of something desirable. See, we've been supplied with an abundance of truth. The mysteries of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, man. I quoted it earlier, I mentioned it, I'd rather say, but when you read Job, the 28th chapter, it tells you that, pretty much if you desire after wisdom, you can't really find wisdom nowhere else. You can't find it in the depths of the seas. You can't find it in the heights of the heavens. You see? It says it's from the 1590s. It says meaning to fertilize. Ooh, to fertilize. It's from the circa 1600. Scientific sense, to increase the abundance of a particular isotope in some material. But to fertilize, you see, and this word is likened unto this word is likened unto a seed. Okay, let's actually just jump straight down to the point. Okay, this is Matthew 13:7. And this is the parable of the sower seed. I'm just getting straight to the point. It says, and some fell among actually I start here. It says that some fell among thorns, and you know what? Hold on a second. Let me do it like this. Matthew 13:18. Because when you read up, Yahweh Shai said, he says, it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Most High, but unto them it's not given. You see? So it says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, which the word is letting you know that the kingdom of heaven begins with this word. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one. It says, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart, or sown in your mind, you see? So that wicked one is talking about the spiritual demon Satan. He'll come through and he'll pretty much take away the word that was being sown into the elect, not to the elect, but into an Israelite's mind. You see, and that's why you may have an individual that may come up and listen for a minute and then, may just get distracted by something or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody may walk up and try to, whispering in their ear, like, hey, these guys, man, they're not telling the truth, man. They're a bunch of liars, man. They're a bunch of racists, man. And they start walking off with them. That's the parable. The parable of the sower seed is taking place daily. You see, it says, this is he which receives seed by the wayside. It says, but he that receives seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon, and that word anon is another way of saying immediately, and anon with joy receiveth it. You see, yet hath he not root in himself. You see, you received the word, but you never were rooted. You see, you never were rooted in the word. You never were rooted in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So when the storm comes, what's going to happen? You're going to be shaken. You see, when all hell starts breaking loose, when the mandatory implementation of the MOTB is passed, and you got to try to get some food, whatever case may be, you wasn't ever rooted. You see, and in order to be rooted, you have to be fertilized. You have to be properly fertilized. You got to be properly nourished. You got to be properly watered. Okay? It says, but he that receiveth seed in the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receive it. It says, yet hath he not root in himself. You see that? But dureth for a while. You see, you endure for a little bit. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, right, which is going to happen on a way larger scale, okay, more hate and more persecution is going to come from the world. Let's get that word. Excuse me. Slack. Hold on 1 second. It says in this. Excuse me. It says, for when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, right? By and by he is offended. You see, you may get offended because you may get offended based upon something that you may hear in the scriptures. As they say, like the quote unquote the grape doctrine, and people get offended and they fall out. The MOTB, they get offended. Okay, you may get offended at the word, right? It says he also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world. You see the care and the care of this world, the worries of this world, the things pertaining to this world, which is going to pass away, right? And the deceitfulness of riches, trying to make it on the side, choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. You see, you pretty much begin to think about the life of this side. Oh man, well I'm trying to make it on this way, man. I got a nice job. I don't want to be, I don't want to be fired. I got a good paying job. I got a family I have to take care of. I'm trying to have a 401k of this, that, and the third. You see, that's the word being choked up. I thought you hear the word, you see. But what happens is that you begin to think about the things on this side pertaining to this world, which this world is going to pass away. You already see this world, you already see this world failing. Everything with this world is being broken down and crumbled. And it's all due to the fact that the word is being preached. How about that? So even if you think that you can make it on this side for whatever reason, right? The word is destroying all that. The word is making this thing crumble. You see? It says he also, verse 23, it says, "But he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it." You see that? The difference is that you understand it. You see? And who's the one ultimately that gives you understanding? The one that gives you understanding is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? The scripture says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, but with all thy getting, you get understanding. So you have the wisdom of the Lord, which is the knowledge of his his omniscience, how you say that word? Omniscience. Pretty much knowing that he's all around and all powerful, but understanding is the application. Is the application of the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It's applying it to your life. That's when you understand. Is when you apply the fear of the Lord. That's when you truly understand. You see, as the scripture says, understanding is departing from evil. You see? So you actually apply the word to your life. That's the difference. It says, he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it. You see? Which also beareth fruit. You see, you being enriched. You see, it also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 60, and some 30. You actually are fruitful. And that's the whole goal of this thing of ours through the Spirit, is to be fruitful in the word, man. You see, not to be unprofitable. You see, not to be unfruitful. Our whole duty is to produce fruit. That's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai wants us to do. So that whenever he returns, he's going to harvest. He's going to reap. You see? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 4. It says, I thank my power always on your behalf, for the grace of the Most High, which is given you by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. You see that? The grace, it says, for the grace of the Most High, which is given you by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, letting you know, once again, that this is a gift. This is something given to us, right? It says that in everything ye are enriched by him. In everything. Not in some things, in everything. We're enriched by him. And when you get this word enriched in the Greek, we already got the etymology of the word, but this is it in the Greek. That word is plutizo. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just see where I'm at real quick. That word is plutizo. Okay, and we'll get the definition here. All right, plutizo. Okay, and that word enriched says to be richly furnished. To be richly furnished, man. To make rich. You see, we're being made rich, or we're being richly furnished. Like if you go into a house, or you go into a mansion or a castle, or whatever the case may be, and there's nothing in it, that will, what if you have a castle or a nice palace and there's nothing inside the palace, like no furniture, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. It's completely empty. No portraits, no vases, no, you know what I'm saying? Nothing in it. What's the point? What's the point of that palace if you're not going to furnish it? No, what makes the house itself is the way that it's furnished. You have the couches, you have the, like I said, you may have the paintings, you know what I'm saying? You may have the vases or the stones, you know what I'm saying? You have your, a particular rug, whatever the case may be, you furnish the house. You see, so our house, which is our bodies, ourselves, we're being furnished by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see, it makes me think about that parable that Yahweh Shai spoke. I think it's in Matthew the 12th chapter, when he goes into how pretty much whenever you come in, You know, you have demons on you, and they flee. You see, they flee, but they come back. You know, that demon will come back, but it'll find you swept and garnished, or else pretty much empty and swept, meaning that there was nothing furnished within you. So he brings back 7 more demons more stronger than himself. And then what? The last state of that man is far worse than the beginning. You see? So we're being enriched. We're being thoroughly furnished by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with this word, right? It says that in everything ye are enriched by him. In all utterance. You see, in what is the utterance going into? The doctrine, the things that are coming out of our mouths, the word that we speak. So we're being enriched with what? 100% truth, and in all knowledge. You see, going into the mysteries of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You see? Because what's the testimony of the testimony of Yahushua? Okay, the testimony of Yahushua is what? The spirit of prophecy. Because that's ultimately what it's all about, is prophecy. And we're living in a time where what? Great prophecies are coming to pass, man. Major prophecies are coming to pass. Okay, that the world cannot receive. Thoroughly going into the MOTB and breaking these things down plainly through the spirit. That's the utterance, you see? But that knowledge is given unto us to be able to utter these things. You see that? Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 12:4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, different gifts, you see, but the same spirit. So there's different gifts, but it all comes from the same source. Okay. It says, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. You see, you got the apostles. Okay. You got the bishops, the prophets, the teachers, you know, it's about to go into it, but different administrations. Just as if you go into a business, you know, you have different administrators. Not everybody's doing the same thing at a business. You got different administrations, you see, and there are different administrations, but the same Lord. It says, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. There's different operations, you see, but it's the same power that works in all things, in all operations. And that word worketh probably means efficiency, energy. You see that? Energeo. You see that? Energeo. All right. And that word worketh says to affect. You see that? To affect. But it's the same power which affects. It's an effect. You see, like you have a cause and then you have an effect. You see, but it's the same effect that works in all. It says, but the manifestation of the spirit is given to every man to profit withal. Let's read that again. But the manifestation, so that the spirit is made manifest to particular individuals, right? But the manifestation of the spirit, what is the spirit? Yahushua said, what? The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. You see, but the manifestation of the spirit of the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is given to every man to profit withal. You see, to help each other, to help to edify at the end of the day, right? It says, for to one is given by the spirit the word of wisdom. You see that? To another the word of knowledge by the same spirit, so on and so forth. You see, so there's a particular measure that's given to each and every last one of us that we have been enriched with. Okay, because mind you, that's what this lesson is going back to, enrichment, that we have all been enriched with to profit, you see, to edify, not for the sake of your own personal gain, not for the sake to fulfill your own belly, all right, but it's given to us. We have been enriched by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for the edification of the body at the end of the day, of the elect. That's what it's all about. That's what this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and this grace that has been given to us, that's why it's known as a gift. You see? 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5. All right, I read, it says, for I suppose I was not a whit behind the chiefest apostles. Right? It says, for I suppose I was not a whit behind the chiefest apostles, going into Peter, the apostle Peter, which is the head of the church. Peter, James, and John, you know, as they were known as James was known as a pillar, you know, Apostle John, John the Revelator, Yahushai's best friends, those that were actually walking with Yahushai in the order that Yahushai set up when he was on the planet Earth. You see, so he said, the Apostle Paul said, for I suppose I was not a whit behind the very chiefest apostles. You see, because Yahushai manifested himself directly to the Apostle Paul, even though he didn't, the Apostle Paul physically didn't walk with Yahushai. He didn't physically walk with him, but he still revealed and manifested himself unto him. You see, and he was in the Apostle Paul's task. You see, he was given a very, very heavy task. He was given a heavy portion to be an apostle to the Gentiles, to the Israelite foreigners. That was a great task. You see, verse 6, it says, but though I be rude in speech. You see, let's get that word rude. What does this word rude mean? Okay, but though I be rude in speech, that word rude is idiotes, which is where you get the common word idiot from. You see, but though I be rude in speech, okay, that word rude says, as often in classical Greek, unskilled in any art. You see, in eloquence. You see, we could be unskilled in eloquence. We didn't go some of us, I'm not saying every single last one of us didn't go to college or whatever the case may be, because you got brothers that went to school plenty of years. You see, but even going to school, that doesn't apply to the fact of what we are learning, because this can't be taught in school. You see, this can't be taught going to a university, going to school, going to college for 10 years. No, so those of us, we come from all different backgrounds, man. And we don't have the most eloquent of speech. You see? So it says, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. Why are we not rude in knowledge? The reason as to why we're not rude in knowledge is because this knowledge comes from on high. You see, we have been enriched with this knowledge. So we're not rude in knowledge. We're not an idiot in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what's actually coming within the word. You see, it says, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. You see, so there's not going to be any excuse. You see, it's being, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Lord is being made plain in these last days, whether people can receive it or not. The 100% truth is being shown. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6, it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. You see, among them that are perfect, and that perfect goes into those who are spiritually mature. You got to be spiritually mature in this thing. You see, that's why the Apostle Paul he said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I acted like a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You got to mature. You see, you gotta abound. You have to grow. You can't be in the same mindset that you was, 3-4 years ago. You can't be the same person that you was, 1 year ago. If you've been given the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding a year ago, or for 2 years, that third year, you can't be the same. You gotta grow. You gotta mature. You see, so it says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. It says, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. You see, we're not going to speak the wisdom, quote unquote, the wisdom that belongs to this world. You see, the wisdom that belongs to this world is AI, transhumanism, quote unquote, science, pretty much rebellion against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's what the wisdom of this world promotes. So we're not going to speak the wisdom of this world. You see, that people deem as being right. What people deem as being right is you getting the Capri Sun juicy juice injected into you. You see, that's what they tell you to do. That a mask can save you. That pretty much you can become God. God is really artificial intelligence. You see, that's the wisdom of this world. You see, it says, but we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery. And a secret. You see, even the hidden wisdom, like the hidden manna. You see, we have been given the hidden manna. Let's get this word hidden. It's probably crypto, most likely. Apokrypto. It's where, like you get the word apocrypha. It means hidden things. That word is apokrypto. You see? And when you get that word hidden, you see it says passive in the sense of concealing. You see, the wisdom is promoted. The wisdom, knowledge, understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is openly promoted, but it's also concealed at the same time. Why is it being concealed? It's concealed among those who was supposed to be hidden from. You see that it says concealing, keeping secret. You see, so this truth is kept a secret to those who aren't supposed to get it, even though it's openly promoted. You see, the hidden wisdom, the concealed wisdom, right? It says, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. You see that? So we're being given this, and we're being enriched from on high. We're being watered. We're being fertilized from on high. The seed that's been sown into our hearts or our minds, all right, is being fertilized from on high. We're receiving the former and the latter rain. Okay. You got Ephesians, the 3rd chapter. It says, for this cause, I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, for you Gentiles, you Israelite foreigners, we were prisoners. The Apostle Paul, look, I'm a prisoner. You see? It says, if ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of the Most High, which is given me to youward, and that dispensation is in a oikonomene sense. You see? Like in an oikonomene sense, in the sense of a manager of household affairs. If you have heard of the dispensation, the responsibility of the grace of the Most High, which is given me to youward, how that by revelation, right, Yahweh Shai revealed himself to the Apostle Paul. You see, just as Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai revealed themselves unto us. You see, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery. There's a mystery again. As I wrote afore in few words, whereby when ye read, as we read the scriptures, when we read the letters, we read the prophets, the law, the Proverbs, Psalms, Wisdom of Solomon, the whole scripture as we read, as I wrote afore in few words, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Hamashiach. You see, we understand the knowledge, all right, that our apostles and our elders, beginning with our apostles and elders on down, has given unto us. You see, when it comes to truly understanding what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is doing here, going into the prophecies, understanding what the prophecies are saying, going truly into the breakdowns. You see, what do these scriptures truly mean? You see, and through the spirit and the power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we have been given that, and we have been given the proper leadership, man. Beginning with our apostles of Great Millstone, going down to the bishops and then the elders. We have been given the 100% truth. You see, it says verse 5, it says, which in other ages, other times, that word ages is ion. You see? Oh, excuse me. Okay. This word ages is Genea. So I stand corrected. That word is Genea. Okay. In other ages, it says an age. It says i.e. It says the time ordinarily occupied by each successive generation. So in each generation, the time ordinarily occupied by each successive generation. The space of from 30 to 33 years. So letting you know how long a generation is. So if you come back every 3rd to 4th generation, you come back every 30 times 3, all right, is 90, and 30 times 4 is about 120. So you come back every 90 to 120 years. That's a generation. So so reincarnation, you come back every 3rd to 4th generation, come back every 90 to 120 years, which this word has never been gone. You see? So it says, which in other ages or other generations was not made known unto the sons of men, as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit. You see, so the true understanding. That's why when you hear the apostles and elders like Apostle Tahar, you got to have understanding when he says that what we know more than the prophets of old. Why? Why do you think that he says that through the Spirit? You think he's just saying that just because he's like, yeah, we know more than the apostles? Yeah. No, he's saying that we know more than the apostles and prophets of old because what? It is now being revealed unto his holy and the holy apostles and prophets now. The prophets, the holy apostles and prophets are back today. In the fullness of the understanding is now being given. Excuse me. Because yes, the apostles, the prophets of old, they were given revelations. They were given visions, but they didn't really truly understand. They didn't really truly fully understand what the visions meant. Now we're given it's being revealed unto us what the visions mean. You see? Like as you read in verse 6, it says that the Gentiles, these Gentiles are Israelite foreigners. You see? That the Gentiles should be fellow heirs. Because when you read in the Old Testament, it talks about these the Israelites being scattered. And we will lose our heritage, we will lose our way, we will start following after the idols of the heathen, following after the idols and the customs of the heathen. You see? And we will be scattered. But ultimately, through Yahushua, we will be brought back through this word being preached. And now the fullness of that is coming out because back then we didn't really get it. You see the word Gentiles and you think it's talking about the actual heathen when that's not even the case. You see, it says that the Gentiles should be fellow heirs and of the same body and partakers of his promise in Hamashiach by the gospel. Because Yahushua is that seed. He made a promise unto Abraham. What? He said, and in thy seed shall all nations of the earth be blessed. Meaning that seed being Yahushua, man. And that fullness of this understanding is now here. Got a few more and I'm about to wrap it up. 2 Corinthians 3 and 7, it says, but if the ministration, excuse me. I'm sorry, not 2 Corinthians 3, 2 Corinthians 8, my fault. 2 Corinthians 8 and 7, it says, therefore, as ye abound in everything, to abound means to grow in everything, in faith, you see, and in utterance, and knowledge, and in all diligence, and in your love to us, see that ye abound in this grace also. So we're supposed to be, so with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you see, we abound in faith, we abound in utterance, we abound in knowledge, we abound in diligence, we abound in grace. Due to what? Fruitful works in us increasing through the Spirit. You see? So that's all that I got. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I'm going to give all praise I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.